Let's do that. The recording should have started. You would have gotten a notification saying the recording has started, and we are going to get started with our presentation today. So one more time, my name is Joony, and Mondays used to be the KOK 101, but because of the big changes, Mondays are now the KStadium 101/KOK 101. So today I'll try to explain to you both platforms, both applications from the same company, and I'll give you an explanation of why both exist and how you can utilize both, and the premise of why these two platforms will continue to exist in the near future as well. So for those of you who are a bit lost because you thought you were here learning about KOK, don't you worry, I will cover KOK Play, the application, no problem, but I will also give you information about KStadium because those two are very much related. For today's agenda, I'll cover 4 things. I always like to explain to everybody why something started, the origin story of KOK. Where did it come from, why it started, and what it's trying to become. And that's going to lead us to what KOK exactly is. And understanding the whole KOK ecosystem can be quite a lesson, but what I'll try to do today is break it down to its bare bone minimum so that you can understand what that is. And third, I'm going to try to compare to you what KOK and KStadium differs and also are very much the same part of the ecosystem. And lastly, I'll try to lead that into the current updates to KStadium and KOK and why with both of these platforms together, we can try to create our own future with these platforms. So we'll get started to why it was created. And all of that started because of the Hallyu wave. And this Hallyu wave has hit both East Coast, West Coast globally. And what the Hallyu wave represents is the Korean cultural phenomenon, meaning Korean products, Korean cultural products, music, dance, K-pop, Psy doing his Gangnam Style, BTS breaking every records, all the way up to you finding the very beautiful Korean beauty products in your local store nearby. Here in the North American front, especially in Canada, this can be a very, very good summary of what the K cultural Hallyu wave phenomenon looked like, all the way up to last year in November, where literally everybody in the world watched Squid Game from Netflix. So perhaps you have been part of these very dramatic occasions in the Hallyu wave, and perhaps not. But what is important to note here is that throughout this time, and even so more these days, there is something very much in common at the center of the focus of everybody here. Oh, this video is not working very well for today's internet, but we'll skip that. And what I mean by that is at the center of everybody's focus is K content. It's K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, K-gaming, K everything. But to encompass all this, let's call that content or K content from Korea. During COVID-19, while we were all stuck at home, we really wanted to have new things to consume while we were stuck at home. And one of those main things that has boomed across the world was content market. And this content market, not just for the K content market, has boomed everywhere, especially let's say in North America, where it's expected to reach a $38 billion industry by 2030 with an annual growth rate of 16.2%. Now, if you don't know about growth rates in the markets, anything with 2 digits means it is insanely growing fast. And not only is it growing fast, you can see on the graph on the left that the way that we are consuming digital content is changing very rapidly as well. With, for example, the VR sector getting us into the metaverse has an annual growth rate of 25%. But what is interesting to note here is that there is a boom in digital content all across the world. And these contents have been made all across the world. So then we could assume that there was a global wealth increase, right? As in everybody across the world got happy with all the earnings from the digital content sales. Well, that's not exactly what happened. The people who got really happy during this time, this boom in digital content age, are the very well-known platform companies to us, such as Facebook, now called Meta with Instagram, Google with YouTube and their Play Store, Spotify, Netflix, Apple with the App Store, so on, so forth. Now, why I mention these platform companies is because they're playing a game with us right now, and you have no idea that you are part of this game, very much so, excuse me, and you are losing. What I mean by that is there's a game called Monopoly that I like to use as an example, where there's a game, 4 players on board, and as the game continues, the rest of the players are forced to continue to keep paying and playing and paying and playing until they literally run out of money and one person has a complete control of the board, or a monopoly. And why I use this metaphor is because these platform companies are winning this monopoly, and you and I, my friends, were the players and payers, and therefore we are losing. And if you don't believe me, let me give you this example that I used to use, which was Squid Game, which was a very wonderful Korean content that was made in Netflix that broke every Netflix record there was until today. And that's why by November, Netflix accrued about 1 billion Canadian dollars in revenue, while the cost to make Squid Game, meaning divided up to the content developers, the staff, the actors and actresses, and all the people involved in creation of Squid Game, shared a $30 million Canadian pool. And I put 6 teeth here because the creator of Squid Game lost 6 of his teeth implants trying to create this wonderful Korean TV series during a very gruesome time. But you see the discrepancy here, right? The cost to make given to the developers and the content creators versus how much the platform has accrued. And these numbers are just November alone, as in after November, anybody who watched Squid Game has piled on more money to Netflix, but no more to the people of Squid Game. And this monopoly got so bad at one point that the South Korean federal government, or the national government, had to step in, try to create some laws and bills, try to limit and control some of these platform giants, such as Apple and Google. And this is where the origin of KOK comes in. It's the fight against this monopoly, against this platform company, to make it fair again once more to the people who are creating the content and perhaps also consuming the content as well. And our current foundation's director and chairman and CTO of KOK at the time created KOK with that envisionment, meaning let's create a system, a platform where contents can be shared and watched all across the world with a fair model of economy, where assets and value can be shared amongst, of course, the platform maker, but also the developers, the content creators, and the consumers. And enabling this system, this economy, was the dream for KOK. And with that, KOK started. And my friends, that is the simplest way you can explain what KOK is to yourself and the people around you. What is KOK? It originated to become a K platform for K contents. That's why in 2018, when it first started, it looked like this, where you could see the Korean TV shows, game shows, webtoons, movies, all being stored here to be able to be consumed all across the world, whoever has an account, and with the homework of being fair, share, and enable. However, to actually create a system that is openly fair, open source, where people can see that the assets and value are being shared in a fair manner, requires a very heavy, technologically intense system called, in this case, blockchain technology, because blockchain is exactly just that, an openly available, openly seen source where data can be seen all across the world and being safe enough for people to trust. And with that, KOK, the platform, had homework, as in they had the vision and the content and the platform, but they didn't really have this technology to actually make that possible. And with that, I'd like to take a small break from KOK and tell you a little bit about a company called Medium, also from South Korea, and now they've changed their name to Meta M. But Medium, as it was known until last year, created a software plus hardware ecosystem solution for the blockchain world. What that means is together, their solution is capable of reaching speeds matching blockchain platforms across the world that are deemed the world top tier performance levels. And usually these numbers are recorded in TPS, or transactions per second. And I'll later explain to you why TPS is important. But what is to note here is that the company called Medium, that has this software and hardware infrastructure for the blockchain technology that is on par with world top tier blockchain companies, has become one with KOK. That's right. Through a merger and acquisition, the KOK Foundation, or the KOK at the time, and Medium at the time, gone in together to become one ecosystem. Because as KOK had the content and the platform and the vision, Medium had the technology. And together, they can actually make this possible. This being creating a decentralized platform for the contents so that for users, consumers, developers, and platform creator can be part of a fair shared economy with an enabled system through blockchain technology. So one more time, if I were to put it all into one sentence, the new version of what KOK exactly is would be a decentralized blockchain-based digital contents platform. Not that long, but these are the basis of what KOK/KStadium both are. And if you're confused from this point on saying, wait, I thought KOK and KStadium were different thing, absolutely not. They're from the same company. They're two platforms, but they work together in the same ecosystem with this exact same premise. And this vision of creating a digital contents platform in a blockchain world excited many people, many users, and even venture capitalists, meaning people who are willing to invest in this goal, and not people. Venture capitalists are literal companies, and they are groups of immense asset holders who are willing to fund the early business success of a future proven technology or company such as KOK. And that's why from China, Chain Capital and Kirin Fund has both gone in to become VCs on their seed rounds for KOK's vision. And as you can see, they invest in blockchain companies, and KOK/KStadium are not the only blockchain companies that they've invested. You can definitely check them out. But with this wonderful investment and with this wonderful new merger with Medium, the platform launched. And as the platform launches, it always requires its bare minimum early stage development. And that early stage development for all platforms and any platforms is people like you and I, users, meaning a platform without users is completely useless, no pun intended there. And that is why for every platform, that includes the KOK as well, in the early market stage is always looking for the early adopters, the early users. The user acquisition phase is on since it was founded only in 2018. And just old statistics alone, the average value added for one user to a platform is about $100 a month. So you can imagine how much money Google and Facebook has when they have 5 to 10 million users a day, right? Well, I've mentioned that these platform companies always create this unfair monopoly-based ecosystem/economy. And this is what we call a platform economy, which you'll see here in the middle. Compared to the conventional centralized economy where there was no real connection or relationship between the consumer and the product making company, the platform economy actually bases itself with this connection. Meaning, let's say with Uber, we are the drivers. We maintain a connection to the company, and funds are always funneled towards the middle. And the more users there are, the more money they accrue. And people at Airbnb, for another example, uses the exact same model. We are renting our homes and we maintain a connection to the company. But what happens when we decide to, let's say, stop driving or stop renting our homes? Do we keep any of that value of the economy we created? Absolutely not. We're completely exiting the economy while only making the centralized company in the middle bigger from our services. And that is why many of the companies right now are trying to move on to this next generation economy called a protocol economy, which is decentralized, meaning no one center. And both, let's say, platform creators, users, and consumers are part of a community interconnected so that what they do inside the community increases the value of the community together, and that value is shared, which is the exact model that KOK wants. But to share that value, we need something to share it with, right? And with a beautiful technology as blockchain technology, we can create a cryptocurrency. And that's exactly what KOK did with their KOK token. And with the KOK token was a shareable cryptocurrency that can be utilized to share the assets and value within the community, right? And to make sure the legitimacy of the KOK cryptocurrency, you can, of course, go to places like CoinMarketCap, where you can search for the KOK, look at its ranking, look at its state, look where it's being traded, and of course, look for its white papers as well. One thing to note that from CoinMarketCap recently when I went in there is to see that there's about 19,000 different cryptocurrencies and over 500 exchanges. That's quite a lot. That shows me that the cryptocurrency market is insanely huge, which is probably why you're here listening to our KOK talk on Mondays, right? Well, let's get back. As you can see, once you go into KOK at CoinMarketCap, which is one of the many one of the many Wikipedias of the cryptocurrency world, you can see that KOK is being traded in various markets, such as KuCoin, Bybit, Gate.io, Bittrex, and so on and so forth. So from this page alone, you can see that the KOK token is like your average cryptocurrency. You can mine it. In this case, KOK uses user acquisition models. There's a finite amount available and is currently traded in major currency exchanges where you can exchange it to other types of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ether, US dollar Tether, so on and so forth. But if you've been following carefully, you'll realize that KOK is so much more than your average cryptocurrency because, one, it has an ecosystem platform and ecosystem of users who are utilizing KOK as actual currency. So it has a utility. It's a utility token that the ecosystem users utilizes. So that means the more users there are and the more value and growth the community has, the more value the KOK token will have. So there's a very much intertwined, interconnected value being shared between the ecosystem that is and the KOK token that is. And the third point is that I mentioned that has a technology to own its own network. But before we get there, I want to point out that the fact that it has an ecosystem and a shared value and the value being increased, being shared within everybody in the economy is the exact point of how a protocol economy can be made. So the last point I noted is that it has a technology to own its own network. What do I mean by that? In the cryptocurrency world, there are two types of cryptocurrencies. There are tokens, and then there are coins. Tokens, and most of the cryptocurrencies you've probably seen are tokens, probably like 85%, I think right now. They are cryptocurrencies that borrowed some other blockchain network technology. What I mean by that is most of them are companies that have borrowed the technology from Ethereum's ERC20 chain, meaning they do not have their own blockchain technology, but they believe in the power of cryptocurrency. So they're willing to borrow that part of the technology and create their own cryptocurrency on top of that. So those cryptocurrencies are called tokens, like the KOK token. However, with great news, I am excited to tell you that our KOK token is so ready to become its KOK coin. So what I mean by coin means it has its own network, and we're calling that the KOK mainnet. And with the mainnet finishing its closed beta early February and currently part of its open beta, it is running smoothly and very well indeed, where we can experience the KOK coin, not in its token form, but on its coin form. And you might have guessed it, that's right, that technology has come from Medium or Meta M that is capable of creating TPS scores that matches world top tier levels in the cryptocurrency world. But if you really want to put it into perspective, the current highest two contenders of the cryptocurrency world are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Their TPS, Bitcoin is 3 to 7, while Ethereum is 15 to 25. That's how many transactions per second their system can handle. And with Ethereum's newest upgrade, they were able to revamp these numbers a bit higher, but they will nowhere come closer to 50,000 transactions per second that Medium technology is capable of doing so. So you might ask, what? I thought Ethereum was the highest cryptocurrency. Why are they so slow? Well, they're old and they're redundant, and they are more like the grandfather systems that needs to exist for the rest of the cryptocurrency world to exist. So for them, big changes is much harder. That's why new system can really take advantage of fast transactions per second, meaning the higher the TPS means the faster your transactions will be done when more and more users across the world are utilizing your mainnet. So again, point to take across is that the KOK token will now become a KOK coin, just like Bitcoin, for example. And with that wonderful merger of technology and vision of KOK and Medium Foundation or Medium, with their technology, that is where the new name KStadium comes from. And you can find out about all of this new information at kstadium.io, meaning go to Google, Chrome, Opera, any browser you use, and type in kstadium.io, and you'll be able to download the app, understand its documents, get its white papers, and every questions you may have for KStadium is there. So on and so forth. Till now, I was mentioning the first two things of why it started, which was to fight against the monopoly, against the platform companies, and create a new type of platform. And that's what KOK exactly was, to create a blockchain-based platform for the contents to be in a fair, shared, enabled network, right? Well, now I'm about to tell you there are actually two platforms, KOK and KStadium. So before you're confused, let's go back in time a little bit when only the KOK Play application existed and life was a little bit simpler than it is now. So when KOK Play existed as itself, KOK Play had one side, a vision to become an ecosystem for digital content, an ecosystem of digital platform users, meaning contents will be stored in the platform itself, and the ecosystem will be there for the consumers and the developers and the content creators to exist there. On the other side of KOK Play, there was this little added function of POS, or proof of stake model, where KOK Play, as it started in the cryptocurrency, in the blockchain world, looked for a little bit of an investment opportunity for people who understood the vision, understood the market, and understood its future, were willing to prove a stake into their technology, and in doing so will receive a reward as almost like an investment. So this is where most of us fit in, I believe, where we sought out this investment opportunistic side of KOK Play. And this was where you could get 100% of the referrals of whoever you refer into the system. Wherever they get their POS, you can get that. And there were even things like level-based ranking, but all of that is gone now. So it's really no point of explaining. But what is notable from this screen is that KOK Play had two sides, an ecosystem of digital content platform users and an investment opportunistic side. Well, KStadium is basically taking that investment opportunity side away and making it an even better place to make it an investment opportunity, meaning KOK Play will remain to be an ecosystem of digital platform users and will focus itself to become the contents platform it wants to be, while the investment opportunistic side will move on to KStadium alone. And these are the big two differences between KOK and KStadium. And because of these changes, on April 27th, as you may have seen on the KOK Play platform, if you have it, you might have noticed 5 big changes being announced. The first one is that there will be a KYC authentication, know your customer authentication. If you utilize any other exchanges such as KuCoin, Bybit, Binance, Coinbase, etc., you'll notice that when you make an account there, they'll ask for a KYC and ask to make sure you can verify who you say you are. And then the second part is the $5,000 limit on POS. When the changes take effect, they haven't now. And my best guess right now is July 11 for those changes to take effect. You will no longer be able to put on a POS on KOK Play more than $5,000 US dollar worth. Meaning if you've already gone beyond that limit, it's okay. It'll stay as that, but you won't be able to go any higher. If you haven't, $5,000 is your new limit. And this is not a change. There's always been a 200% mining reward limit set, and there's no restaking available here, as the changes will take effect on July as well. And on 4th is that there is an increase in mining limit via the platform usage. What do I mean by that? If you can no longer restake to increase your mining reward limit above the $5,000 mark, you can increase it by our favorite announcement, number 5, getting free users referred under you. Meaning, until now, you couldn't get users to be able to refer themselves further on unless they staked a POS of $300 US, I believe. But now, no longer, when these changes take effect, free users can now create their account underneath utilizing your referral code, and you will both receive $100 worth of mileage where you can utilize it in the platform. You can put it into your mining limit and increase your mining limit. You can also exchange it to KOK, and you can, of course, spend it in the platform as well. These are the big 5 fun changes that haven't happened yet, but will be happening very, very soon. At this point, you might be wondering then, these changes have occurred. Tell me one more time what I should do. Well, this is the easier way for you to understand if you've been more on the investment opportunistic side of KOK Play. For KOK Play, it will more and more become a contents platform, while the KStadium will become more and more of an investment platform, meaning you'll be able to you will be able to get more KOK token, or at the time coin, when you join in the KStadium side. Where do those coins come from? Are the company just creating them? Nay. This is what the company is trying to do. They're trying to create users on the contents platform KOK Play by creating new contents, attracting new users through the free referral system, for example. And when their users come into KOK Play to consume the contents, they will pay gas fees every time they do a transaction. So those gas fees are one thing that they're looking for: increase in user growth, increase in gas fees collected. Another thing that happens when you increase the number of users in a contents platform is other people or other companies or other content creators are very interested on selling their content to those users, meaning these decentralized applications will enter the KOK contents platform ecosystem. And when they enter, they also have to participate by paying gas fees. And these gas fees are the big parts of what you should think about how KStadium is able to get the funds or KOK coins as investment, meaning those gas fees that you saw are going to be collected in not Ether anymore, but in KOK. That's right, because it has its own technology through its blockchain application. Whenever transactions are happening, those gas fees are no longer based on a token formats of ERC20, where we have to pay Ethereum a gas fee. We will now be paying gas fees to the KOK Foundation. And the foundation will take those gas fees and redistribute them to people who are participating in KStadium's community pool. And this is what KStadium is all about. And if you want to understand more about KStadium specifically, and you want to go a bit deeper, please join me on Thursdays, 10 p.m., same time, where I do an AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything, and I'll try to give you the basic understanding of how KStadium works, which I go into a little bit more detail than now. But if you don't have time to do so, don't you worry. These videos are being recorded and being shared online. But of course, you can try to do your own homework, which I really, really strongly advise, by going to kstadium.io, where all of the information about KStadium is listed there. And that was a lot of talking. A lot of you might be wondering from this point on is, why is the company doing this? Well, the company hasn't changed its front. It's always trying to create this protocol economy where they're trying to create a community where people inside it are incentivized to contribute, because when they contribute to the community or to the network, the added value gives that value provided to all. Meaning, when you add something to the network or to the community, that value goes to both you and everybody else inside that community. And this is the basis of a protocol economy. And with that, I feel like some of you may have a question in your head saying, I've seen the market value of KOK out there. What is the point of all this when the value there is so low? And what is the company doing right now to try to increase this value? Well, I just create those slides for you to understand. Let's go on from top line to bottom line. From the top line, I've mentioned that the company is now creating a free user-based referral system, which means more users will join. They no longer have to do this 300 POS. We also knocked out the whole MLM side of this with the level bonuses. All of that is gone, creating a very fresh page for new users to come in and join us. And when they join in, both the new user and you yourself get $100 worth of mileage to be utilized there, and they will be using the platform. And as more users join, that means the demand for KOK will go up. The demand for the community and the ecosystem and the platform goes up. And because that's how the protocol economy works, the price of KOK together will go up. That is one effect of what an increase of free users will do. And I have exciting news that with this free users, some users are right now testing this, and they've already added thousands of users by themselves using this methodology. The second one is KStadium's community pool. As more people participate on KStadium's community pool, they are locking their KOK asset into the community pool that cannot be taken out into circulation, meaning the supply of the KOK will drop. If you drop the supply of something that is in high demand, or even if you drop a supply of something that has a finite amount, the price will go up. And thirdly, with the announcements, you might have seen that the KOK Foundation is willing and is planning to go through a coin burning, or I guess in this case, a token burning, as they switch into the KOK coin format. So if they burn their supply, if more of it burn, the KOK token burns, again, they are reducing the supply and again, increasing the price. So literally every single thing they're explaining right now is to increase the value of KOK. So there is definitely a price recovery roadmap happening right now, and you're participating in it right now. So definitely hang tight as we step into a better world tomorrow. And if you're wondering where I'm getting all these updates, this is how to get them. You go onto the KOK Play app, you press on that little tiny man for your user profile at top right corner, you press on announcements, and here are the list where all the announcements have been listed that you might have missed so far. Definitely check out the announcement that have been coming out since June if you're not going to check everything out. So the June announcements and July announcements are pretty cool. For example, one of the announcements that happened in June 21st says the third quarter of 2022 is the iOS app launch. Yes, super excited. So that means July, which we just entered. Happy 4th of July, guys. We will have a working version of KStadium. That's awesome. And the forum will launch too. And there'll be a bridge bi-directional service launch, meaning utilizing the KStadium bridge, we'll be able to swap our KOK from our KOK Play wallet into KStadium. This will be very interesting. And that says in August, so that's soon too. And another announcement, they saw that on July 11th is the date where we'll see the changes in the terms within the platform. So I feel like July 11th is the big date to understand where many of these changes that has been announced since April will take place. Will all of them take place all at once? Probably not. Will many of them take place in July 11th? I definitely think so. And with that, I bid you thank you very much for this wonderful Monday evening for you to understand that. That was quite fast. I think I talked a little too fast today because I was way too excited. But I definitely want to let you know that you can go on YouTube right now and type in DA Group KStadium, or I will share the link with you right now on the Google chat, which is right here. Bam, go there, subscribe to our YouTube channel because this video will go up there along with every other video with the giant logo that says English so that you can find out the English lessons. The other ones will be done in Korean as well. So definitely note that, join us. All of this content and video and myself are being sponsored from DA Group, which we are a node here in Toronto, Canada. So if you have any questions about us, definitely check out our YouTube channel called DA Group, but you probably have to type in DA Group KStadium because I realize there's a lot of DA groups on YouTube. So with that, I urge you to join us as we enter into the future. Literally with all these types of advancement that KStadium and KOK are doing right now are the step into the future. All these words that I've seen right now that has been leading all the technological and markets into the future, KStadium and KOK are doing. So definitely ask questions, be part of it. And for the next 15 minutes, I'll take questions either by voice or by chat. And if you have any questions, please put them up there. And if you don't, and you completely understood everything I told you about, well, I'm very glad. We'll see you guys either on Thursdays, 10 p.m. So same time on Thursdays. And we can ask more questions about KStadium, or you can come back next Monday. I probably will have more updates for you then. I think every 40 of you joining me this Monday night, even though it's the 4th of July, we probably will have a larger group next week or Thursdays. So thanks for being part of it. Again, for the next 15 minutes, I would love to take questions. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hand with your little button and I'll unmute you and you can definitely interact with me. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Type it here. No? Wow. Okay. I'm really happy to see that. That means, oh no, I have Gregorio who's raised his hand. I'm going to ask you to unmute, my friend, and I think you are unmuted.
Hi, Joony. Joony? I don't know if I pronounce
it's Joony, Gregorio. Thank you.
Joony. Hi. Yeah, I'm calling from Miami.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you are aware surely of the recent trouble with the Terra Luna coin that has been basically disappear from the market. I lost, fortunately not so much, but some $1,000, so that are always important.
Yeah.
Anyway, just my question is, what do you, what the company has as a backup and to give some kind of security that the investment doesn't cannot go away any time for some reason. So what is the backup? I mean, the support, the financial support that they give some kind of security to the investors. That's my question.
Okay, Gregorio, thank you for your questions. That is an interesting question, and I'll try to answer that in twofold. One, letting you know that the Luna or Terra and the KOK Foundation have almost no similarities whatsoever because they basically are really trying to do something different. What they tried to do is they tried to become a tethering company where they had to uphold a certain value of their USDC, and because of the current inflation and current fluctuation in prices in the US dollar, they did something they shouldn't have done. To protect their value, they released their own funds. And because of doing so, that became a very controversial move for a system that was supposed to withhold their value in terms of the US dollar value amount. And once the people who have invested on Luna or who has bought Luna saw that, they realized that the company's vision of maintaining their value of Luna or for their US dollar tethering coin was not possible. So that was their big mistake. They shouldn't have tried to save themselves by releasing their own funds. And if doing so, broke the premise of what they were trying to become. And that's why everybody sold at the same time. And so will that happen to KOK? No, because that is not what KOK is. KOK is a utility coin for the platform, for the ecosystem. We are not a US dollar tethering coin. So it is very hard to compare those two. So that's one thing I'll tell you. And the second thing is, I want you to know that I don't work for KStadium or KOK. So everything that I'm telling you is from my experience and what I've learned from what they have shared with us. So I am very certain to tell you that any company that has received investment will not give any financial security or financial assistance in terms of invested value. This is why it's called an investment, right? So it's almost saying, okay, I'm going to invest in the stocks, but if these stocks go away, what is the company going to do to assist me in that sense? Usually nothing. However, I did tell you that the company has this plan in hand, right? Because a lot of what you're saying is prices dropping. What happens if it keeps dropping? What happens to my invested value? Absolutely. The company doesn't also want the price to drop because they hold a very significant amount of KOK as well as their assets. So they are also for example, losing if the price of KOK drops. And this is why they're pushing out these plans that was supposed to happen, but perhaps in a more shorter span of time. For example, the free user referral program is going to be huge, adding new users, meaning more people utilizing KOK, and again, increasing the price. The KStadium, that if you have entered already, you might have noticed that once you go into community pool, that asset is locked in, meaning outside of circulation. That reduces supply, and of course, that will increase price as well. And the foundation is willing to burn part of their assets to reduce the overall supply as well. And they hold 75% of all KOK that ever existed. So they hold quite an insane amount. So if they reduce their supply, that is definitely going to help in bring or recover the price back up. But right now, there are many factors affecting of why the price is dropping. And I wish I could tell you exactly all the reasons, but many of them is definitely because of the current systems in the market, the current inflation, the economy is bad. All of those are factors too. But at the same time, there were internal changes in KOK that has definitely brought these changes upon us as well, the drops in value, as in more people are willing to sell right now because they want to move on. Well, as they move on, when new users join into the system, they will be able to increase the value back up. So yes, the company is busy moving, trying to create a system to create a more stable and healthier ecosystem, definitely. So I hope that answers your question, Gregory.
Yes, that's what. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Joony.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And join me again and bring me more questions.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And Eduardo, you ask, when do you think the price will be adjusted in the KOK app? Great question. So what Eduardo is referring to is the KOK price point of $7 in the app or in the wallet that you'll be able to see. My best guess, Eduardo, I think is July 11th when they said more of the changes will happen that day. Again, I think that's when most of these changes will happen. So if that is part of the change, again, July 11th is that day. I hope I answered your question. Any other questions, my friends? Awesome. It's a very listening crowd. Well, the chat is still open. Oh, I have another question from John. You said, how come so many people are having problems registering? Oh, that's a new one, actually. Could you be a bit more specific? I haven't had anybody have problems registering. Perhaps what you mean though is because you are utilizing the link instead of sending your code. And what I mean by that, let me try to show it to you. So I'm going to launch my BlueStack, which allows me to launch Android onto a computer system. So let's wait for that to load. I'm going to launch KOK Play, and I'm going to share my screen. New share, BlueStack, share. Okay, does everybody see my KOK screen? Yes, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, you guys see it? Wonderful. Okay, so this is my KOK Play that you guys all very well know. Jean-Augustin Gomzi, I don't know if I'm saying Jean, it's a French name, perhaps. I'm guessing, my friend. So perhaps this is why you're having trouble. We used to use this button to invite people, and we can press share, which was give us a link, right? Don't do that. This is a known bug that has been mentioned in the announcements here. So they mentioned it here in the announcement that it is currently, some people are having issues with that. So the easiest way and the best way to do it right now is press invite, copy your recommendation code, which is just that really, or have them scan your QR code and give them that. I hope that answers your question, John. I hope I'm saying it right. Okay. Yeah, did I say it right, my friend? Is it Jean, like French? Wait, I'm gonna unmute you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
I think anyway, the experience we have is that nobody is reaching even that level. They are still at the level of the verification code for the. Yes.
I see.
Everybody is blocked.
Yes, yes. Where are you, my friend?
In South Africa,
South Africa.
We
Yes.
have different, anyway, in all over Africa, we have
Yes.
problems.
Yes. So the very, very first announcement that came out today is, so the platform's SMS verification are available in all countries, but the text delivery system differs in each country and may be unstable depending on network conditions. Thus, we recommend users to register emails as an additional verification method in case of temporary SMS delivery failures. So if they can create their email along with their verification, so when you first register, put in your email. If you can, that would be great. If they cannot, then hang tight. This is a known issue that they have been understanding and they're trying to fix. I see. So you're not getting your text messages, right?
Even the email verification code is not coming. That's the problem. You try the phone, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The email, it doesn't work. You don't receive it.
I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. That is unfortunately a bug in the system that they have to fix. So what I suggest is, as they say here, go to customer service and let them know. But I think this is something that we'll just have to wait.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
No
Okay, Jean.
problem.
I hope so. It'll be fixed soon. They're working on it. As you can see, they are very well aware of that, as I can see. Good. Okay. So I'll meet you again. Thank you, Jean. The next question from Dina. Joony, if I will register somebody now, do they pay us the $100? Yes and no. KOK will provide $100 worth of mileage that can be spent in the platform or exchanged into KOK or put into a mining asset so we can mine it. So you can put it in here. You can mine it, or you will be able to change it into KOK into your wallet right here. Yes, you'll be able to do those things, but it will be $100 cash. Never. Always value of KOK, but in mileage. Sorry, $100 US worth of mileage. Let's do a mute. I hope I answered your question. Akil, okay, here you go. I've unmuted you. I can hear you, my friend. Akil Arnold, Cameroon. I can't hear you.
Yes, my question that to register people, we are having difficulty to have the code, to have code to be easy for us to register. We are waiting for code to come to our SMS or in our email, but we are not receiving the code.
Yeah. Akil, where are you, sir?
I am from Cameroon.
Cameroon. I see.
Yes.
So it seems like this is a common issue right now in Africa. Again, this probably is like a network problem that it's not coming in time. It's something that they understand, as I can see right here. The very first announcement I got is this one. They're saying the SMS is not working properly in some places, and that's why they're offering email. But then Jean has let us know that the emails also don't work. So hang tight. If you can, try to go into customer service, which is right here on the support page. Customer service, this button right here, and let them know that this is a thing that is happening. Submit a request and let them know. But from my experience, it's going to take some time. So hang tight is my best answer, my friend. And I apologize. That's my answer. Akil, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, my friend. Hang tight.
We are waiting for that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to let my people in Canada know as well that this is a problem that I'm getting from you guys, for sure. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Akil. I'm going to mute you again. And from Laos, Sumit Phila, you mentioned the new members who we invited also get $100 mileage. Yes, you both do. $100 both side. Absolutely. I hope that answers your question. Allow, you said, when is the next asset transfer promotion for KStadium? Great question. I have no idea. Will they do it? I have no idea. The second one was for everybody who missed on the first chance. I don't think they even had a intention to do the second one, but because so many people missed out on the first chance, they did their second chance. So will they make a third chance? I don't know. I don't know, my friend. I really don't know. Akil, you have another question, sir. I've unmuted you.
Yes, I want to know the difference between KOK Play and KOK Stadium. What the difference between the two?
Oh man, Akil, where were you when I was doing my entire talk for 30 minutes trying to describe you the difference between the two? Good news for you, sir. So let's see, new share. No. I will be uploading tonight's slides on YouTube, so you can definitely check our presentation again, but just look for the slide that looks like this, and I explain to you what the difference are. So in short, again, KOK Play used to have both content side and investment side, but now they split that, and now KOK Play will become contents only, while KStadium becomes the investment side. This is the main difference. But more questions about how to use KStadium, that one I didn't explain, so you might be confused because of that. Join me on Thursdays, and I will definitely put that up. Go onto our YouTube channel, and you'll have last Thursday's explanation, which is going to be very similar to this Thursday. You can look at that instead as well. So you can definitely look at that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Akil. Fernando, you ask, I don't speak English, but what is the benefit of a new registered if you only have $100 in miles? Well, your English is fine, Fernando, for your I don't speak English, sir. So the $100 worth in miles can be utilized in the platform to use content. So we are looking for new users who are interested in the content creation or looking at the content. And if they're not, instead of utilizing that $100 in miles, $100 worth in miles in the content, they can put that as a mining asset, as in they can mine that. And then as a POS, you get 4% of that. And then you get that into your wallet as KOK. And then you can take that out, you can transfer it, you can exchange it, you can use it, whatever you want to do, for sure. I hope that answers your question, Fernando. So you can use it, and you can use it the conventional way or into a new way, which is the to increase your mining asset limit. All of that will take place, and you guys will be able to see it pretty clearly once it actually happens on July 11th. I hope. I hope I answered your question, Fernando. Next question, and probably last question, Ninfa. I'm from the Philippines. Hello. You know, people here were very careful in this kind of investment because many were being a scam victim. Yes, there's been a lot of scam, I guess, scam coins or scam cryptocurrency schemes a lot. So yes, that's not just the Philippines alone. Even in Canada, there were a lot too. So for sure, it is something that we should be careful of. But scams don't last this long, my friends. We're very much into it. And as you can see, I'm here to explain to you, not from the company. I have no benefit on doing this. So I'm not trying to entice you. I'm not giving you my referral code, for example. So I hope that gives you a little incentive of a value to show you that really people part of this community are trying to help one another to create this ecosystem, because if, and it is happening right now, if this system becomes stable, which right now, because of the many factors across the world, is a bit unstable, but when it becomes stable, it will be a value given to everybody, one of us here tonight. So, Ninfa, don't you worry, hang tight, keep an eye out, ask questions, don't you worry, is the words that I'll say. And if you have any doubts, again, join me every Mondays, join me Thursdays, and hopefully I can explain to you a little bit more, because an informed decision is the best decision. And with that, my friends, it's 11 p.m. That is my time that I'll give myself on July the 4th. Happy Fireworks Day. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you guys on Thursdays, same link, or next Monday as well. definitely check out this YouTube link that I'm going to paste for you guys one more time. Subscribe to our channel because this video will go up there tonight. So thank you very much, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.